Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. How you guys doing? All right, just logging on here. Give me a second. Let me get set up. Show you guys my cactus over there. Get the lights ready. Get you guys on here. What's up, brother? What's going on? Huh? It's on Paul Salazar group. Yeah. You'll probably see in a second. Your new home sales joined. What's going on? New York Disinfecting Services. What's going on? Marcella Callahan. What's up? Success by Design. I know who that is. All right, guys. If you guys are just joining in, we have a special guest today. It is my girlfriend. She is a success coach. She's helped me with a lot of my goals and in my career, to be honest. So she's going to be joining us here in a little bit. Ellen, Priscilla, how are you? Where are you guys coming from? All right, she'll come in a second, so just hold on, guys. Hale Gomez, what's going on? Where are you guys coming from? You guys sell real estate? Let me know where you guys are coming from. I got a glass of wine here. It is Thursday around 5 o'clock here in the Pacific, so it is happy hour time. So if you guys are joining and you're at home, please have a glass with us. I'm going to bring on JJ from Success by Design. Let's see here. Here you go. Request. She'll be joining us here in a second. New agent in Cockeysville, Maryland.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Cheers.
Hi, JJ.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to
Yes.
talk about our topic today, which is goals and how to set powerful, effective goals.
Yes, I'm very excited. So we got some people here. We got about 5 people. One is Louis, my brother Louis. You know who that is.
I do. Hello,
We
Louie.
got we got a new agent from Cockeysville, Maryland. Like that name. Hillary,
Wow,
where you guys
JJ.
from? Riley, wow, JJ, yes. Hi, Riley. Let me know where you guys are coming from. I mean, I know that most of you are real estate agents, so if you guys are coming in, please let us know where you're coming from. Um, I'm gonna call you JJ, although I always call you Babe, so it's gonna be a little bit weird.
I
So we'll see
think
how
we can
that.
do it. I think we can do
Oh,
it for 30 minutes.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me. I'm gonna have a little glass, but please, JJ, let us know what you do.
Yeah, so it's kind of complicated to explain in a couple of sentences, but like Paul said, I'm a success coach and I'm a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. That was really the thing that got me inspired to start coaching. You guys have probably heard of NLP through Tony Robbins. He's really the one that got it famous and in the mainstream. But NLP is really the study of how we can be more successful by harnessing the power of our mind. And it's all psychology backed. So it's just the study of how our mind works, how it stores and encodes information, and how it helps us reach and achieve our goals. So I've studied in that as my background, and that's really the work that I've done mostly with Paul to help him with his real estate stuff. And yeah, excited to share some of the techniques from NLP today that
That's awesome.
that really harness the power of the mind. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming. We got Riley's from Scottsdale, Arizona. I love Scottsdale, beautiful city in
oh,
Arizona.
Santa Cruz is beautiful
We
too.
got Santa Cruz too. Yes, awesome. And then we got Louis always making jokes with
Of course,
I
I expect nothing less.
babe. So JJ, really helped me with my career, to be honest. I was, when I met her 3 years ago, I was kind of in a rut. I was kind of, I was on a team, doing the same thing. I really wasn't that motivated in my career. I was more motivated to travel and do other things, which is fine. But when we settled down, and she is also an entrepreneur herself. She has a swimwear line. She really inspired me to go out on my own and to really, just, see, what I can do. About a year, actually almost 2 years ago now, I started, with Tom Ferry as a business coach, and then JJ also, she's
Hi,
always had.
Sky.
Oh, hi, who's that? Is that one of your friends?
This is Sky. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hi, Sky. Where's Sky coming from? Divine Sky.
Sky is currently in San Diego. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Sky is an
Nice. San
incredible
Diego.
coach as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? What kind of coach is she?
She has that NLP background too, which
Oh,
she's
nice.
just, yeah, she's amazing. So
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, so JJ, really helped me kind of open my eyes into what is possible, what I can do. And I really had a lot of limiting beliefs, so she really, helped me out with that. And she's always, like, your entire life, you've always kind of had that growth mindset. I mean, I know that your dad, Dave, who's a luxury real estate agent in Maui and sells like these insane $20 million houses, which is awesome. He kind of got you into that mindset, right? Early on in your life.
yeah, yeah. Before he was busy raising me, he was all about going to personal growth seminars and things like that. So he never really formally instilled it in me, but I think I just picked it up from the things he would share with me. Just like even like language pattern stuff, like never saying I can't do something, just like little
Hmm.
things here and there. And then yeah, just always hearing that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And I know a lot of parents tell their kids that, but it really is powerful to be programmed with that in early on in life and growing up knowing like, yeah, I can actually create whatever it is I want. So really grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we are, the first week of January. You and I, we went sailing over the weekend, and we did our both our personal goals and our business goals, which is what we did last year for the first time. And it was really powerful because we really, we reviewed our goals from 2020 last weekend, and we did our new goals for this year. And when we look back and we saw what we did and how we accomplished a lot of our goals, and not all of them because it was during COVID and there was a lot of craziness going on. But the fact that that we did that and we had a plan for the year was really powerful. I think that was the first time I've ever done that with a significant other. So that was awesome. But tell us a little bit about what people should be doing right now to get themselves kind of planned for the rest of the year for the goals.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So I just wanted to talk a little bit today about the best way to sort of set goals. Goals can obviously be some of the most exciting things in our lives if we know how to set goals and how to accomplish them. And they can also be really frustrating if we are not setting goals the correct way. So using the sort of NLP approach to setting goals, I wanted to just kind of run through that with you guys, give you some criteria for in the future as well. So if you're next year setting New Year's resolutions, you'll know how to frame them, how to create them, and really what sort of rules to follow to harness the power of your subconscious. So subconscious is really the powerhouse behind everything that we do. It's about 95% of the sort of influence on our daily thoughts, actions, and behaviors. So when we address things by looking at the subconscious, that's when we really can make things happen quickly and really tap into the power of our mind. So if you guys have a pen and paper, I would suggest getting that out. It's just going to be
Yes.
a few words to just sort of jot down that you can take with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's
yeah,
say
so
let's say hi really quickly, JJ. I was gonna call you babe. To Mark Medina, he's my title officer.
oh, that's great.
Big
Hello,
big
Mark.
supporter of my business. Leslie Lawson Holmes, let us know where you're coming from. And then cool, I don't know how you
Kulat.
say that. Coolots. She's my friend from Semester at Sea, Liz. She's awesome.
Oh,
She
hello,
lives in Toronto.
Liz.
She lives in Toronto, and I've been wanting to go visit her over there. But she's awesome, and also her boyfriend, longtime boyfriend Dave, is also a great guy. So, and then we
Oh,
got
amazing.
Simply Wendy's also joined. So hi, how you guys doing? Also, anybody who's just joined, we have JJ on. She's my girlfriend, also a success coach. She's helped me with my goals, and a lot of the things that, a lot of things that are kind of, I guess we would say issues in my business in terms of limiting beliefs and fears. So she's kind of talking about, goal setting for 2021. So babe, JJ, uh, take it on.
Sure. Sorry, so I have something in my eye in case I keep doing this, not to distract you guys. But yeah, if you have a pen and paper down, if you want to even bring out your current goals for the new year and kind of like workshop those as I go through this could be really helpful. So the acronym for the way to set goals is SMART goals. So SMART, and each letter stands for something. So starting with S, you want your goals to be simple. So the simpler the goal, the more powerful. You want your goals to be specific. So our subconscious is kind of like a heat-seeking missile. So when we give it a goal, the more specific we can get, the easier it can sort of find its target. And so an example of a specific versus non-specific goal would be, I want to make more money than last year. So if you say that, the way our subconscious works is that it wants to find the easiest and fastest way to achieve that goal. So say you made $100,000 last year. If you were to make $105,000 the following year, your subconscious would say, oh, job's done, perfect, like nothing more to do here. So we want to get specific and say, this year I made 100,000, next year I want to make 200,000. So we want to give it that specific target to go for. The next part of the S is short for seeing you. So if you do any visualization for your goals, which I highly, highly recommend, it's super powerful, you want to see yourself in the picture. So this is the best way to visualize your goals rather than seeing through your own eyes. The next letter is M, which is for measurable. So the goal needs to be measurable so that we can track our progress, we can make sure we're on track, and so we know when the goal has been achieved. So if we just say, for example, I want to be healthier, how are we going to track and measure that? I want to make more money, we can't track and measure that. So we want to use numbers specifically to really help us be able to chart out our path and to check in on our progress. The next letter is A, and that's short for as if now. And what that refers to is writing our goals and saying our goals in the present tense. So rather than saying, I want to make $1 million this year, you say, it is now December 31st, 2021, and I've created $1 million in revenue. So present tense is really, really important for the process as well. The next one is R. So R is short for realistic. And this may seem obvious, but you don't want to set a goal that either feels too far out of reach or isn't actually possible. So if you're just starting your business, you may not want to set $1 million goal your first year. You want to really look at your resources, you want to look at what's available to you and make sure that that makes sense and that it's achievable for you. The last one is T, which is for timed. So you want to give yourself an end date. So by December 31st, 2021, the goal will have been completed, which is part of sort of the full statement. You'll use that at the end. And then the other part of T is toward what you want. So you don't want to set a goal that's negative away from what you want, meaning I no longer want to be unhealthy or I no longer want to be a smoker, right? You want to always frame it towards what you want. So that's really a basic outline. Anytime you create a goal, even if it's a small goal, I highly recommend running it through these filters. Again, it's just science-backed. It's the way that our minds are best sort of go after things. So again, that's SMART goals. Simple, specific, seeing you is S. M is for measurable. A is for as if now, so writing them in present tense. R is for realistic, and then T is for timed, so a deadline, and then for towards what you want. So that's awesome. the full breakdown.
So you actually did this on me. What is it like? I think it was like 4 or 5 months. I think it's like 4 months ago when I was trying to figure out like, I want to get into development deals in real estate, and I haven't never done a development deal in my 14 years, which is nuts, right? I mean, I've kind of repped developers, but I have not gone through the whole process of like finding a tear down or like a development opportunity, selling it to a developer, they build it, and then I sell the actual asset afterwards. So I was telling JJ, I was like, hey, like, how do I, like, I really want to, sell 4 development deals by this time next year, right? So kind of walk us through the process of what you did for me. I know it was not only the SMART, but you also did some like hypnosis on me as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that leads right into the next part of setting the goal, which is so you have your SMART goal, you run it through your criteria, it's good to go. The next thing you want to do is turn it into what NLP calls an achievable outcome. So an achievable outcome is where we set a long-term goal, and rather than looking at what's the first and then the second and then the third and then the fourth step towards that goal, we work our way backwards. So usually when we have a long-term goal, it's something that's pretty far outside of our current scope, right? Anytime we put it that far out there, it's because we haven't gotten there, we haven't really gotten that close to it yet. We need some time to get there. So for that same reason, we probably don't know the first step it would take to reach $1 million in revenue. Otherwise, we would have already created that. So what we want to do is work backwards. So if your goal is to make $1 million in 2021, you want to ask, where do I need to be in 9 months out from my goal? 9 months from now, meaning 3 months from my goal, in order to reach that deadline. So where you'd want to be is almost to $1 million, right? You want to look at what milestones need to be in place, how much revenue have you already generated, And then that would inform where will I be 6 months from now. So if 9 months from now you've brought in $800,000 in revenue and you've brought in maybe another agent to help you and an assistant, 6 months from now you're a few steps before that and quite a bit of revenue before that. And so we work our way all the way back from 6 months down to 3 months, down to a month, and then even down to a week. And once we get down to a week, we really start seeing the concrete steps we can begin taking towards that $1 million revenue. And we can see how achievable this goal becomes when we work backwards. So rather than just having this huge goal stretching out in front of us and being like, okay, well, today I'll just, try to start working towards that, we can see a map, which makes it feel so much more doable. Like, oh, all I have to do is get here in a month, get there in 3 months, get there in 6 months, there in 9 months, and I'm on track for my goal. So working your way backwards is definitely the way to go when it comes to long-term goals. And that's what we did with your developer goal.
Yeah, so I want to kind of show you guys what we did. Like you just kind of explained how it worked, but I want to give you the example of what we did. So my goal was to do at least 4 developer deals by, I think it was like June or July of this year. And so we basically, like you said, we went, all right, where do I have to be at 9 months? Where do I have to be at 6 months? Where do I have to be at 3 months, right? And then where do I have to be in a month? Where do I have to be in a week? And that really helped me. I'm like, all right, so in the first month, what I did is I wanted to seek out who were the developers, who were the players, who were the companies and the developers in the area that I was farming. Who are they? So I reached out to those people and I started talking to them. I started asking them, what are they looking for, right? So then I started saying, all right, so they're looking for this kind of asset. And then literally, I think it was like 6 weeks after we did this technique, I was, dropping off flyers in my area, and I met a couple. They were outside, and we had a nice chat. I set the appointment. We talked. I sold it off market to a developer. I double-ended it, right? So it was a $1.56 million deal. I repped the buyer and the seller. They're going to be finished with the project at the end of this year, and that'll be a $3.5 million sell. So it's going to be a $6 million sell at the end of this one deal. And I want to do 4 of these by the time it is June or July. I also met some, while I was with JJ and my mom, we were out on the sailboat, and I met somebody right next to the sailboat that I'm chartering, and he's looking to develop houses in Hollywood Hills. So I set that appointment, and he's going to be finished with this house at the end of the year. So it's crazy how this works. Like it's almost like a fairy tale, because like it doesn't really make sense. Like how does this stuff happen, right? But like you said, like the subconscious actually kind of looks for it. So then when you're talking to people and they're talking about real estate or whatever, you're always looking for like opportunities, always looking for opportunities. So long story short, it's already starting to work. I obviously have not reached that goal yet of 4 development deals. I've only done 1, but I've already met other developers in the process that are going to give me their listings at the end of the year. So I have 3 development deals. I have 1 in Beverly Hills for close to $7 million that I'm going to get at the end of the year, beginning of next year. And then I have the 1 in Hollywood Hills for like $4 million. And then I have the 1 in Venice for $3.5 million. So that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about what you did though while we were going through that SMART process. But before you do that, JJ, I want to say hi to my niece Alondra.
Oh yeah, hi Alondra.
From San Francisco. We have Julia Spiritual Coaching.
Yes,
nice.
Hi Julia.
From your sphere. And we also had a question from your yes. And we also had a question from your new home sale. So, Paul, you mentioned Tom Ferry. How was that? How has that worked for you? It's been amazing. I'm a big believer in coaching. I was never a big believer in coaching for a long time. I mean, I started coaching on my 13th year of my career. So that just shows you I was not a believer. And I was looking for answers. I was looking for help. I was in a rut. And I started Tom Ferry. I did a lot of research. I think like three or 4 months of research. And JJ was there like that entire time. I was researching, and I knew it was a big commitment for me because it was $1,500 a month. That's a lot of money. That's rent. Or that's a car payment for a G-Wagon, which is what I want to get in the future. But, I finally said, you know what, I think this is the right thing to do. I talked to agents that are already coaching with other coaches in the Tom Ferry network, or just other real estate coaches in general, and they had nothing but good things to say about coaching. So I took the plunge, and I did it, and it was the best thing I've ever could have done for my business was joining the Tom Ferry organization. Um, so yes, it is totally worth it. And if you want me to refer you to a good coach, I think that's the most important thing, because Tom Ferry's got I think 200 coaches, or 250. It's important to get the right coach, because I've had three coaches so far through the Tom Ferry network, and one wasn't the right fit for me. They were a great coach, and they've coached, they've helped out a lot of great agents, but they weren't the right fit for me. So it's always important when you're joining coaching to have the right fit, right? It's like if you want to get a therapist or a success coach, right? You want to make sure that you have the right fit. Otherwise, you're not going to feel comfortable, and you might not get the results you want to have. So, your new home sales. If you have any questions about Tom Ferry, send me a direct message on Instagram, and I can help you out. Let's see here. Who else has joined in? All right, cool. So yeah, so tell us about the process that we went through in terms of the hypnosis and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. So once we created the SMART goal, we worked backwards, we created the achievable outcome, like you said. Once you kind of map backwards, you can start seeing the things you need to be looking out for, the resources you need to start finding. And then there's actually a part of our brain called the reticular activating system
Hmm.
that filters at a subconscious level for like things we may have never noticed had we not set that intention. So had you not, sort of created that goal, it wouldn't have even thought that was a relevant thing to notice. It starts noticing those little things, and that's how we start sort of supercharging our goals and having them come to fruition faster. So once we did all that, we did what's called a time technique. So this is a pretty advanced NLP technique. You would need a practitioner to do this with you, where we basically take your goal and we implant it in your subconscious mind's timeline. So I know that sounds a little strange. Everyone's subconscious has a visual representation of basically a timeline where it stores every single memory from your past. It has a photographic memory of everything that's ever happened to you, and it also has a future timeline. So to feel more in control, the subconscious basically projects into the future what it thinks will happen. And so we can sort of take this goal that we had and create a false memory, well, not really a false memory, but an artificial memory in the future of something that's already happened. And by making it more real, telling the mind that it's already happened, that just like 10 times is the sort of juice behind it, so to speak. And so that's what we did with the developer goal. I think the hypnosis that you're referring to is around the limiting belief stuff. So
Well, wait, hold on, because I remember that we set a what was it like? Once I set the goal, I was doing something, right?
you're doing
So
something.
we
Oh
were we
yeah, yeah,
were
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's part of it too.
This is
So
the most exciting part of it, because like that's what got me excited.
yes, and this is actually one of my favorite parts of goal setting that I totally forgot to include, which is once you have your goal and you say, okay, it's December 30th or it's July, whatever your date was, Paul, I think it was July like 17th or
Yeah.
July 31st. I've closed 4 development deals, and I'm celebrating in what was it? What did we create for the
So
visualization?
it was I recall exactly what it was, because like you said, we did a hypnosis, and you told me what are you gonna do to like celebrate when you finish doing
Yeah,
your four
so
development deals, and it
So you
was
want to create a visual
yeah.
representation of
Mhm.
what makes the completion of the goal real for you. So if that's a celebration, a dinner out somewhere, or a trip like you chose, then you want to sort of create this like end result imagery for yourself. Imagery is the language of your subconscious mind, so you want to harness that. And Paul, yeah, you can finish
Yeah.
sharing about your
Well,
thing that
yeah,
you
yeah. This
created.
is this is super exciting, because you're obviously going to be part of this. But it was, I was waking up in like the BVI's, or like the Virgin Islands, on a catamaran, and I was walking out in the morning, and walking out from the cabin outside, and I was looking at the beautiful turquoise and blue water, with the mountains in the background, like an island, like like a small cove. And I was just like kind of thinking about all the hard work that I
put into, getting all these developer deals, and how special it felt to be like, I planned this a year ago and now we're here, and I just actually finished accomplishing this, and this is what I'm giving myself as a gift for doing this. So like, it's still in my head, and because of that, I got my sailing license, a month ago, and so now I'll be chartering the catamaran. So that's even actually more exciting as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So creating that like super exciting visual representation of that represents your completion of that goal is really going to get your mind excited. It's going to inspire you. And then we take that vision is what we actually took and implanted into the future timeline. So according to Paul's subconscious, it's set in stone that we're going to be in the BVIs in July celebrating that deal. Therefore, we've supercharged the goal in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this stuff sounds kind of like abstract and strange, but it's actually all based on some of the most like cutting edge findings in psychology about how the mind works and how to, really harness the power of that.
Yeah. And kind of talking a little bit about hypnotherapy, it is very strange,
So that wasn't hypnotherapy.
Well, yes, that wasn't hypnotherapy, but it was a little bit like in that same process. Like we kind of did like the whole like timeline thing, like that you were doing, while we're doing it, and it is very foreign for like anybody who hasn't done it before, but it's probably the most relaxing thing that you could do, and I started doing hypnotherapy like 8 or 9 years ago. And it's really helped with some other things in my life as well. So I wasn't new to it. And when I was looking up, how to, get rid of certain things that were going on in my life, certain trends, or certain issues that I wanted to kind of fix in my life, I was looking into hypnotherapy, and everything that I saw online was saying that it was the fastest way to get to where you want to be at, right? Because there's like, you can use, psychotherapy, which is, kind of talking to like a shrink or like a therapist and kind of talking it out. But the hypnotherapy really, really gets to where you want to be at much, much faster.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason for that, just for everyone watching, is that when we talk to a therapist, we do talk therapy, and there's nothing wrong with talk therapy. It can be really healing to share how we're feeling and to be heard and have that space. We're using our conscious mind, which is about 5% of our total brain power. When we do hypnotherapy, we're actually going to the deeper layers of the mind, implanting new ideas there. And then when we sort of come out of that trance and go back into our daily lives, the programs at the deepest layers of the mind have been altered. And therefore, our results start showing up differently. We start showing up differently. And we do it without a lot of effort, which is the best part. So when you work with the subconscious, it starts taking a lot of the effort out of what you're doing. It starts becoming more just about you're more in the energy of what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. If you guys have any questions about what we're talking about, please let us know, because we would love some interaction.
I love talking about this stuff.
Oh, isn't that your friend, Kylie Johnson?
I don't think I know Kylie, but hello, Kylie.
What was I going to say? I was going to say, okay, if you guys have any questions about what we're talking about, either real estate or what JJ is talking about goal setting, or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to us. We're like the reason why we're doing this is because we love to share what we do. We are passionate about what we do. I'm passionate about real estate. JJ is so passionate about personal growth and helping other people achieve, their goals. She's a success coach. So, she helps several, of people that I know. And also, like I know that you just helped, somebody who's running a huge company, which is awesome, helping him with, a lot of, things that are going on in his life, and also helps out with business. At the end of the day, if you're feeling good in your personal life, it's going to, transcend everything that's going on in your life, business and relationships and like everything else in life. So if you guys want to reach out to JJ about, getting help with goals for 2021, she's always here to help you guys.
If you want to DM me, I'm happy to send you any tips or tricks that I can think of. So feel free to reach out. And I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, Paul, too. Like you said, when you work on yourself, that like ripples out. And when you think about, especially in real estate, you are your business. So any improvements that you do to yourself, your business is an extension of you. So any improvements that you do for yourself are going to be showing up in your business as well.
Yeah.
So personal growth is super, super helpful for business growth, and always worth the investment.
Yeah, for sure. And your new home sales has great information. Thanks, guys. Thank you, JJ. I like how she spells JJ. Awesome.
Thank
I'll
you.
inbox you, Paul. Peace. And then we got
Thanks for joining.
King of Mortgages as well. Hi, King of Mortgages. How are you? And then we also have Kylie Johnson saying it's so helpful. Thank you. So let's talk about. We were going to talk about the next thing. Oh,
Beliefs.
was beliefs. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me start by saying that, before I started coaching with Tom Ferry, I was looking into how do I get more business, right? How do I expand my business? I'm here in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills area. I work for one of the best boutique luxury firms in the world, Hilton and Hyland. I was on a team before as an assistant that kind of grew into a hybrid role. And I was just kind of getting fed leads. But once I left on my own, I was trying to figure out how can I, have a consistent, business year over year and grow, little by little. And over, kind of doing research, it was, we have to prospect, right? And since I don't know anybody here in Beverly Hills, because I didn't grow up here, right? Like I came here from Rancho Cucamonga. That's an hour and a half away from Beverly Hills. I could have been in Cincinnati, right? Like so being new to the luxury market is tough, right? And it's very scary, trying to go off on your own in a luxury market where, people are from Beverly Hills, they know people because they grew up here, they have family, they have a huge network, right? I didn't have that, right? So for me, it was, all right, how do I get to a point where I can get business, right? So for me, it was the easiest way of doing it is cold calling, because you can just do it from home and you can just call people, and that's not easy to get rejected, right? And I was very scared, and you were there in the beginning where you were helping me with my scripts, you were helping me just kind of role play, and it was tough. You were probably the hardest role play partner I've ever had. I mean, it was just like, no, I don't want to talk to you, no. But it was good. It was good practice, right? Because when you're cold calling people, you're going to hear more no's than yeses, but every no will lead to a yes, right? And and so I started cold calling. I had some success in the beginning, but it was very, very tough. And then last year, JJ put me through this kind of exercise about helping people out on the phone and hearing those no's, but also understanding what that meant, right? So kind of go through what we went in that process.
Yeah, sure. So that's a great point too, because we can have an exciting goal, we can create the plan, you can do the hypnosis, you can do all these things. However, if there are limiting beliefs in the way of your goal, it's going to really slow your progress down. It can make goals actually impossible sometimes if there's a really powerful limiting belief. So with you, it wasn't anything too crazy, but you sort of had this this belief that when you were calling people, you were bothering them. So if you heard people get annoyed, it would sort of shut you down a little bit, right? You'd kind of recoil, and then that would wear on you also over time. Because if you're on calls all day and you're feeling that and you're interpreting that to mean something negative, that's going to really wear on you over time. So what we did first was meta model questioning, which is an NLP technique as well, where we sort of dissect the belief and we break it down so you can see that it's not actually the truth, that it's just a story you've been telling yourself. So we did that first, and then we did hypnosis, where we took those questions and we turned it into a powerful hypnosis about how you're actually helping people. So even if people are annoyed because they're getting a ton of calls, if you don't push through and persist and do what you do on the phones, those people are actually missing out. You're not doing them service. They're not going to get to work with you. Maybe they work with a realtor who's not going to do a good job, which in the case of your expireds was everyone that you were talking to. So your belief was actually not serving your clients as well as not serving you. So once we were able to do a hypnosis where we sort of got your unconscious to digest that this belief wasn't true, and that you could have a more empowering belief, which is what we reprogrammed you with, which is the belief that you're actually helping people by being on the phones, by being pushy sometimes, because everyone's bombarded by calls and you have to push. from what you told me, it just kind of became, your outlook felt a little different, and how you sort of interpreted those calls was different.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge breakthrough because, you know, at that time I was maybe booking one appointment every week or one appointment every 2 weeks. After that happened, maybe like a 2 or 3 weeks later, I was booking on average one appointment every 1.5 days. So it was like 3 to 5 appointments a week, and it was insane. I got like 5 listings in a month, which was like a freaking breakthrough for me.
Yeah.
And you know, since then I've gone down and I've gone up, and it's been a wave. It's not like I'm getting 5 listings every single month, right?
But in general, you're more confident, you feel more comfortable,
Oh
you're
yeah.
just, you approach it in a completely different way. And the energy that we approach our goals with is everything, right? If there's fear, if there's self-doubt, if there's worry, when we get on the phone, people will hear that, especially in the real estate industry. But
Yeah.
in any case, whatever you do, whatever energy you're doing something with is going to be the quality of the results that you get. So our energy comes from our beliefs. So when we shift our beliefs, we show up with more confident, powerful energy, and we create completely different results than we would have.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the fact that, you know, when we were doing that exercise, I just felt confident, right? Just like immediately after, I was like, oh my gosh, like that makes so much sense. Like, if you know, if I'm not like, I was always thinking, you know, I'm calling people, they sound bothered, they sound annoyed, like I don't want to bother them more, right? Like I'm very sensitive to other people's energy. So when they're annoyed or they're pissed or they hang up on me, like that next call is going to be even much worse, even if the person is
You're going to
nice
be
at
that
that
much
point.
more sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And these people want somebody who's confident. You know, they want to
Right.
know that like you're the right person for the job. Like you can sell their
Right.
house, right? So and this is something that I'm continually struggling with. It's not like it's not like it's gotten better, but it's not easy, right? I mean, cold calling people is not an easy thing, you know.
Yeah.
But what you did was it was really a breakthrough for me, and you know, so thank you for that. And again, guys, like if you guys want help with this kind of thing, please reach out to JJ. Like this is what she does. This is her business. She's in the business of what we call miracles, right? Because she really,
Breakthroughs. Yeah.
yes, miracles and breakthroughs, because she helps people with these limiting beliefs, with these, you know, beliefs where I'm not good enough, or you know, I can't do it, or whatever it is, right? She really helps people unlock those things and helps them get to where they want to get to, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yes, so true.
So
Our
we
energy speaks
have
for us.
we
Yeah. Our
have
energy
Krista.
speaks before we speak. So
Yes.
definitely, when you walk in the room, it's like that experience. When someone walks in the room, you can already sense something about them, right? So our
Yeah.
energy is everything, and staying in control of our energetic state all day is so important. And the fastest way that we can create the results that we want to create is to be aware of our energetic state, and to, there's tools you can use to really keep it in a positive place.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, because that's helped me get some more listings and hopefully get us to some
Yes.
more to some more fun vacations.
More vacations.
Yes. I think JJ is doing this for a reason. She wants more vacations.
Oh yeah. I mean, come
Nothing
on.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so we have Krista, Realtor. Let us know where you're coming from. We have J Man Speaks. Kylie Johnson says, so true. Our energy speaks for ourself. Let us know if you guys have any questions. We'll be here for a few more minutes.
Yeah, any questions on goals or anything like that? I was going to also add too that, like, a telltale sign that a limiting belief is present for you is when you've plateaued. So if you've hit a certain point, you can't seem to push through, there's something deeper going on. And this is really true for anything in life. If you're feeling stuck and you feel like you're trying everything to create a change and you can't create it, there is a deeper layer to that. So really looking at your limiting beliefs can unlock so many things for you. But just wanted to add that plateaus and any other sort of stuckness is really just a symptom of a deeper belief. So that's something you want to address right away so that it can stop affecting your life and you can be free to go on and create whatever it is you want to create.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think believing that you can do whatever you want to do is it's a hard concept, right? You know, there's agents here in Los Angeles, and you know, when this is like a few years ago, my belief was that I needed to be part of a certain society. Like I needed to be like going to Beverly Hills High School, or I needed to go to USC because there's a great network there, or I needed to be, you know, born and raised in a rich family in Bel Air or Brentwood or Palisades to be part of this like network of, you know, people. But that's not true. You know, that's completely not true. You know, and there's agents out there that I started following, and they inspired me because I knew that they were just like me. They had come to a luxury market, they didn't know anybody, and now they're huge agents that are making, you know, a couple $1 million a year. And that's my goal this year. You know, I really want to get into that 7 figures, and it's a huge, you know, it's a very crazy thought, but because I've never gotten there. But, you know, last year, you know, when I set my goal, I think it was like 95% to where my goal was. And that was amazing to think. When I set that goal last year, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get here. Like, I was like dumbfounded. I was like, doesn't seem real. But my coach said, you know, put it on paper, you know, write it down, you know, write down exactly what you have to do every single day to get to where you want to be at. Right. And that's contacts, right? How many contacts do I have to make? How many conversations do I have to be on? How many appointments do I have to set? How many appointments do I have to go on? How many listings do I have to get? How many buyer appointments, right? So it's just a metric, right? It's all a numbers game. So that was pretty exciting. So I'm very excited about 2021. Let us know if you guys have any questions. Krista is from Boca Raton, Florida.
Hello, Krista.
That's a great area. I love that. I love South Florida, beautiful area. All right, we've been here for 43 minutes. I'm not surprised. Wow. We've been talking for a long time, JJ. I never call you this many times, JJ. But anyway, guys, happy Thursday. I am
Happy
here.
New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. I'm here every Thursday talking about real estate, talking about getting into the luxury market. Again, I'm not from the luxury market. I was selling, you know, $200,000 houses when I first started doing real estate back in 2006 with my mom in Rancho Cucamonga. Now I'm selling houses as high as you know, 25 million. You know, so it's exciting to see what level you can get to when you just kind of, you know, just again, not have those limiting beliefs. Super important.
Totally. Speaking of which, we need to do your time technique for 2021 goals.
Yes, that's true. Let's do it this weekend. We have no plans this weekend for the first time in like 4 months.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
I'm so excited. Well, babe, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, guys. Thanks
Cheers.
for joining us.
Have a great night.
Please reach out to JJ if you guys have any questions about goal setting, about limiting beliefs, anything that, like, if you're having any issues, like even like weight issues, drinking issues, like any kind of issues, she helps out with anything. Like, she helped out one of our friends that was biting her nails for her entire life. This is crazy. For her entire life. She did one session with JJ and she no longer bites her nails. And now she has really, really pretty nails. Like, just like weird stuff like that. It's just like, really
it
cool
all comes back to the mind. It all comes back to the fact that our subconscious controls absolutely everything. So what we think is in our control is not actually in our control. Sorry to break it to you, but once you can accept that, it's actually really mind that you haven't accessed yet is, and begin accessing it and doing things you never thought you'd do. Like you said, Paul, like it's so exciting. It's so rewarding to set a goal where you're like, how the hell am I going to get here? And then reach it, and then just keep pushing yourself to the next level. It's really, really fun. Yeah.
It's very exciting. All right, guys, have a good night. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year. I'm going to have JJ back here probably in a month from now because it's just fun. It's fun to have you on here and kind of talking about personal growth, because I'm a big believer in it now. And I wasn't, you know, a couple of years ago. And it's just exciting to see what kind of life that we're creating together, you know, because we both have that same mindset of, you know, hey, we can reach whatever goal we want to do, right? Because sooner or later, me and you want to travel the world and work from wherever we want to work from. So that's our lifetime goal, right? And I know we'll get there someday, and you know, we're just kind of working hard in the meantime.
Yep. Sounds
Cheers.
good.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.